Okay, we're going to explore how to use Tinkercad. I'm assuming that you have an account in Tinkercad, and we'll guide you through that in a different tutorial if needed. But in this one, we'll assume you have one. So we're just going to get there and try to make something. So I'm going to go ahead and bring open a Google Chrome page here, and I'm going to type in Tinkercad. And I already have it kind of ready to go. I'm going to just do tinkercad.com just to make so we can all start with the same. I'm going to go, and it brings me up to my account. If it doesn't, you need to sign into your account. I can see my account here, Jacob Hale, and I can start doing stuff. Now this is a teacher account, and so I've got maybe some different things, but I'm going to create a new design, plus new design. You can do a 3D design. Okay, and it gives you this work plane and a bunch of preformed shapes. You can do all sorts of things with this. So for example, I could take this box, throw it over here, and it automatically snaps it to your work plane, whatever your work plane is. I can make it a hole or I can make it solid. Okay, we'll see what a hole does in a minute, but I can make it solid there. And you pick whatever color you want, but I'll just leave it red, okay? And that's nice. Now if I want to adjust it, I can click on it, and I got all these different things to adjust. And I can also, if I left or right click, then I can kind of move the perspective around like this. Okay, so if I wanted to make it wider, I can grab that and I can change it. Looks like I've got the back corner there, so I can make it both wider and deeper. And if you want to make it precise, you can just click on that and type. If I made that 40 and this one 30, hit enter, and it makes it very precise. Okay, I can grab this top one and make it taller if I wanted to, or shorter. And again, you can make that precise by typing in a number. Okay, now you can move it around. Okay, you can also rotate it. So here I can rotate it this way. I could rotate it this way. Alright, whatever you do, you want to think about ultimately you want to try and print this, so you need to have a flat surface on the bottom. So I'm just going to hit Control Z twice so it doesn't mess that up. Okay, now if you want to move things just one direction, you can grab these edges here. Okay, and you can move it down or up in your work plane. Okay, and then if you just grab it anywhere, you can move it side to side in your work plane. So those are some things that you can do. So creating an object, resizing it, rotating it, and moving it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to click. Let's say I'm happy with that. I'm going to look and make sure. Looks like I accidentally moved it above my work plane. So I'm going to be careful to move that back down. So clicking on it, I'm going to move this back down to that work plane so that this number is 0. Okay, that's the distance off the work plane. It is this far from where I previously had it, but I need to move back to where I first had it. Okay, so that's now complete. And then I can again look and see, yep, it's nicely situated on my work plane. Now, what if you want to do stuff to this? Let's say you want to, I don't know, put a cylinder on top of it. You can grab a cylinder and set it there, and you can throw it right on top. Now, if you notice, by doing that, it automatically assumed a work plane I was going to work off of, because it was the most logical space when I drug that cylinder there. Okay, so it automatically assumed that. And I can adjust this just like I did the other ones. I can either move it around, or I can change its size, its width, and so on and so forth. I can do it precisely or just dragging it. Okay, so those are things to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and move this down. So when you look at the side, it's kind of going through it. And I'm going to choose that to be a hole instead. Okay? And you're like, oh, did that just cut a hole through it? It will if I then click on it and shift click on that to include both objects. This suddenly becomes black. And if I group them together, it now created that hole. Before, the cylinder was just a hole in terms of a shape, and now I could carve it out by grouping it with the other shape. So that's something that you could do. I could have added something to it. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to add I don't know, this cone shape here. I'm going to throw that right there. I'm going to zoom in with my scroll wheel, and I'm going to bring that in, make it a little smaller, and try and get those to be exactly the same. Enter there, and then kind of pull this away from the edges so I can drag it there. There we go. So that looks good. And if I want that cone not to be quite so tall, I'll do that. Okay. Now, what if I want to add that so it's all one body? Well, similar. You click on it, then shift click on the other body, and here you have again. You can do that, and now it is one body. It changes to the same color, so that is one object. And you basically can just keep doing that for a long time, just however until you get your shape. You can cut things out of some things, wiggle things around, and if I want to ever get back to home view, that's what it looks like in home view. You can also drag it here by going like this. And if you ever get all scumopus, just click your home view. Now, text is often a common thing I want to do. And let's say I want to put that text on this face. Well, one way you can specify which surface you can do, you click on this, and you place it on the face you want to put it on. So that now is creating your work plane to be that face right there. So I'm going to zoom in, and then take this text tool. I'm going to place it on that, and clearly it's quite large. I'm going to say hello. And it's a little too big, so let me zoom out here. So I'm going to drag it down so it fits nicely. Drag this over there so it fits nicely. Let's click on the front view. I might need to drag it down still a little bit more. Still a little bit more. There we go. Looks like it's all the way on it. Now right now, it's just words sticking out on top of it. But I'll go ahead and drag it in maybe 2 millimeters. So drag it in 2 millimeters. And now I will make it a whole, clicking on that, and then shift click on this, combine them, and I've now imprinted, excuse me, I've now imprinted those letters. And if I want to get rid of that work plane, I can just go like this. Click home again, and there's my shape. Now there's all sorts of shapes. There's design starters, so you can start with some things. There's creatures and characters, which is fun. You want to do some mechanical structures. There's wheels and machines. The structures and scenery. You want to make a mountain or a tree. There's all sorts of stuff like that are useful. And these are all kind of starting points. You can start with them, and then you can modify them as you go. So that's the basic piece of how to make something. When you're done, you want to save it. So here it's given it a fun name if I forget the name, but I'll go ahead and save this as Practice Hello. Practice Hello. Okay, and let's do enter, and so I've got that saved. Now, the big thing is, having done that, I might want to 3D print it. So I can export it, okay, and I want to export it for 3D printing. We'll learn about this later, but we're just going to do it for 3D print. And so we want STL files. So I'm going to take it to STL, and it now is an STL file that I could print later, and I'll show a tutorial on how to do that.